I need to tell you about the worst 3 seconds of my week. It's not traffic. It's not my boss. It's not the email that says, per my last email, which is corporate for, can you read? It's the flip. You know the flip. You've lived the flip. You walk into a coffee shop, you want one thing. One. A black coffee, not a latte, not a frappuccino, not a caramel drizzle oat milk whatever with foam art that looks like a leaf dying. Just coffee. Hot. In a cup. The kid behind the counter pours it. 4 seconds, maybe 5. Lid on. Slides it across. Done. Then he grabs the iPad and he flips it. And suddenly the screen is staring at you. Glowing. Judging. 18%, 20%, 25%, and way down at the bottom, in the smallest font ever designed by a human being who clearly hates you. No tip. 3 seconds of hell. The kid is right there, 3 feet away. He can see the screen. The woman behind you is watching. Her kid is watching. You're performing surgery on your own dignity in a Starbucks, and you're thinking, 90 cents for coffee someone else poured, into a cup I'm going to throw away. I carried nothing. Nobody came to my table. There is no table. I'm holding the coffee right now. But his eyes are right there. So you tap 20%. You always tap 20%. Because the 3 seconds of guilt cost more than 90 cents. And your brain already did that math. Congratulations. You just participated in the most advanced guilt technology on the planet. Forget AI. America's greatest invention is a screen that makes you pay extra for something you already paid for while someone watches. And it's getting worse. Last Tuesday, I bought a bottle of water at the airport. A bottle of water. The screen flipped. For water. That was already $6.50. That I picked up. With my hand. Off a shelf. And carried to the counter. Myself. I tapped no tip. And the kid, different kid, same eyes, did this thing. This little blink. Slightly longer than a normal blink, like a human ellipsis. And I felt it, for water, that I picked up myself. I walked away thinking, did I just have a moral crisis over Dasani? Should I start meditating before I buy gum? That's what the flip does. Every purchase is a therapy session now. Your wallet's lighter and your guilt's heavier. You're spending more and feeling worse. That's not a payment system. That's a magic trick. The person doing the trick isn't the magician. If you just felt that guilt in your chest from a screen 3,000 miles away, you're one of us. Hit subscribe. It's about to get real. Okay, but wait. Wait. I need you to meet Maria, not her real name. But she's real. I sat in her section at a family restaurant 6 months ago. Sticky menus, crayons on the floor, a child screaming like he just discovered the concept of injustice. Maria had 4 tables. A kid at the next table spilled a milkshake. Twice. On purpose the second time, this tiny dictator in a Spider-Man shirt looked right at her and knocked it over. Maria smiled, wiped it up, brought another one. Didn't charge for it. Got the birthday candle. Sang. Clapped. All while her other 3 tables waited, and the kitchen was backed up and the universe was testing her will to live. I'm watching this woman operate like air traffic control at O'Hare, except air traffic control doesn't have to sing Happy Birthday and dodge dairy products. We were there an hour. Bill was $62. After we left, I went back for my kid's jacket, and I saw Maria in the corner by the server station, leaning against the wall. Eyes closed. 5 seconds. Just breathing. Then she opened her eyes, straightened her apron, walked back out smiling. 5 seconds. That was her break. 5 seconds of being a human instead of a customer service hologram. Then back to the milkshake war zone. You know what Maria makes per hour before tips? $2.39. $2.13. My parking meter makes more than Maria does. A gumball machine has a better business model. At least it gets paid every time it does its job. And that number? $2.13? It's from 1991. The federal tipped minimum wage hasn't moved in 35 years. Gas went up, rent went up, milk went up, Avocados went up so much they became a personality trait. Everything moved. The $2.13 didn't. Just sat there, like a rock at the bottom of a river while everything else flows over it. 2.13 is not a wage. It's a dare. You want to know how this started? I'm not going to give you a history lecture. I'm barely qualified to operate the iPad. But here's the one thing that changed how I see every restaurant. After the Civil War, restaurants hired freed black workers and didn't pay them. The customers would. That's it. That's how tipping started in America. Not as a bonus, as a way to get free labor and make you responsible for whether a human being eats tonight. The original business plan: hire people. Don't pay them. Make it someone else's problem. If you tried that today, you'd be arrested, unless you called it a restaurant. Then you'd get a Yelp page and a liquor license. 160 years later, we're still doing it. We just added an iPad. We put slavery-era economics in a sleek aluminum case and called it a point-of-sale system. Progress. My friend Mike. Big guy. Construction. Eats like he's being timed. Took me to a barbecue place last summer. Mike tips huge. Always. His mom was a waitress. He doesn't look at the bill. Just writes a number. One time he tipped 40% on a bad pizza. I told him it was bad. He said, "Yeah, but the girl was nice." That's Mike. So we're at this barbecue place. Brisket comes out. So good, I forgot I had problems. Mike is inhaling ribs. Life is perfect. On the way out, I see our server by the side door. Older guy, late 50s, smoking a cigarette. Counting cash. Ones in one pocket, fives in another. He's got a system. Like he's done it 10,000 times. Like a squirrel sorting nuts, except the nuts are his mortgage and the winters every month. That's his paycheck. Right there. In his hands. Loose bills from strangers. That man's income depends on whether you had a good day. Your mood. Your fight with your wife. Your boss yelling at you. Whether the parking sucked. All of that decides if this 58-year-old man makes rent. Imagine if your job worked like that. Your boss saying, "Great PowerPoint, Dave." Whether you get paid depends on how the client felt. Also, he's hungover. Good luck. You'd burn the building down. But Maria does it every night, with a smile. That's not a job. That's a hostage negotiation with breadsticks. Mike knows this. That's why he tips 40% on bad pizza. Because Mike's mom came home every night with pockets full of loose bills. Sore back. A smile that was both real and required. And Mike swore, he'd never be the reason someone's pockets were light. God, I love Mike. I'm gonna buy him a steak, tip 60%, and not feel a single thing about the iPad. I've been to Japan. You eat, you pay. Nobody flips anything. Nobody does math. The server makes a real wage and says thank you and means it. I almost cried. Not because of the food, because nobody made me feel guilty for buying it. I've been to Australia. Same thing. Price on the menu is the price. You eat, you pay, you leave. I kept waiting for the flip. It never came. I didn't know what to do with my hands. And the food was still great. The service was still good. Almost like, and stay with me here, if you pay people properly, they still do their job. Wild concept. Someone alert Congress. Actually don't. They'll study it for 9 years and table it. But in North America, we decided the customer sets the employee's salary. Based on vibes, based on feelings, based on whether your server was attractive enough. Because, yeah, good-looking servers get tipped more. Your dinner is also a beauty pageant. We turned eating chicken into a system that involves math, guilt, bias, and a rating of your server's cheekbones. Hitchcock couldn't have designed it better. The customer doesn't want to be the bad guy. Maria doesn't want to be the beggar. The kid at the counter hates it too, he told me. He said, "I hate the flip more than you do, because I have to watch." Both sides of the counter, cringing at the same screen. Both trapped. But the system works. Not for Maria, not for the kid, not for you. For the person who owns the restaurant and figured out that guilt is a renewable resource and shame is free. So we keep flipping. Maria keeps smiling. You keep tapping 20%. The owner keeps not paying anyone, and somewhere an old man is standing by a side door, sorting ones and fives into different pockets, and calling that a living. I think about Maria sometimes. Not her name, not her face, the 5 seconds. Leaning against that wall, eyes closed, breathing. That's the part I can't get rid of. Because she went back out, after 5 seconds, smiling, for $2.13 and whatever you felt like leaving. She went back out. Next time you sit down at a restaurant, look at your server. Really look. They've got a version of those 5 seconds somewhere. If this one hit you, drop a comment. Tell me about the Maria in your life. Next time the screen flips, and it will, it always does, tap what you can. Don't let a screen tell you if you're a good person. You showed up, you paid for your coffee. That counts. But be angry. Not at the kid, not at Maria, not at the old man with the cigarette. Be angry at the system that put all of you into an emotional blender and called it culture. It's not culture, it's a design flaw. And the people who built it don't stand at the counter. Don't flip the iPad. Don't count tips in parking lots. Don't smile for $2.13, they just collect. If my coffee costs $4.50, just charge me $5.50 and pay your people. I can handle the truth, I just can't handle the flip. WrathNero. That's all I got. If your next tip feels different after this, then it worked. There's more coming.